फ्रेंड्स, टुडे इन फिजिक्स मैं आपके लिए लेकर आया हूँ 25 1 मार्क्स क्वेश्चन। फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल? इट्स पेयर ऑफ इक्वल एंड अपोजिट पॉइंट चार्ज सेपरेटेड बाय वेरी स्मॉल डिस्टेंसेस। इट इज़ रिप्रेजेंटेड बाय P। इसको हम दिखाते हैं प्रोडक्ट ऑफ चार्जेस एंड टू सेपरेशन। SI यूनिट Coulomb meter. Strength of dipole given by P, charge into separations. It's a vector quantity and direction is given by negative to positive, represented by minus q to pulse q. Now next question, define Gaussian surface. An arbitrary closed surface in three-dimensional space through which flux of electric field and magnetic field can be calculated. For example, surfaces हो सकती है आपकी cylindrical surface, spherical surface, cubic surface, अगर आपसे एग्जाम्पल पूछा जाता है। Next question, what is temperature coefficient of resistance? The fractional change in resistance per unit change in temperature is called temperature coefficient of resistance. जैसे कि आपको पता है this is the relation at a particular temperature R of metal is given by this. Here R naught, resistance of metal at temperature absolute 0. RT, resistance of a metal at temperature T. Alpha is coefficient of temperature coefficient of resistance, represented by, you can derive from here, alpha RT minus R naught T. So by using this relation you can define it. Fractional change in resistance per unit change in temperature called temperature coefficient of resistance. It may be positive, it may be negative depending upon its conductor, metal or semiconductor insulator. For metal or conductor it's positive and about 1/273 per degree centigrade, its unit. For insulator and semiconductor its value is negative and about -6 into 10 ki -2 per degree centigrade. This is the all about temperature coefficient of resistance. Now next question, define current density. The current density is defined as current per unit area within the conductor. It is represented by J, current per unit area. Now next question, how is current density related to drift velocity? As we know that the relation between current and drift velocity, I is equal to A N E V D. And we know the current density I by A. So NEVD by A, that is NEVD. This is the relation between current density and drift velocity. Now next question, when is a Wheatstone bridge is said to be balanced? When no current flows through galvanometer, then the Wheatstone bridge is said to be balanced. आपको पता है जब गैल्वेनोमीटर आपको जीरो डिफ्लेक्शन देता है हम कहते हैं ब्रिज इज बैलेंस्ड. P by Q, R by S, these are the four resistors. Now 7th question, why is a potentiometer named as a potentiometer? Because it measures potential difference, hence it named as potentiometer. How can make potentiometer more sensitive? By reducing potential gradients or increasing length of wire or decreasing current flow through wire. हमें पता है this is the principle of potentiometer, as we know that by Ohm's law. Then what is potential gradient? V by L. This is known as potential gradients. That is increasing length, current is decreasing. Now, so by using reducing potential gradients, increasing length of wire, you can reduce current and make potentiometer more sensitive. What is shunt? A low resistance connecting in parallel to galvanometer known as shunt. आपको पता है shunt क्या है? आपका galvanometer को हाई करंट से सेव करता है. This is galvanometer, and if you connected this low resistance, this is known as shunt. For example, if 10 ampere current flows, a galvanometer take only 1 ampere, then rest 9 ampere current passes through shunt and galvanometer can be protected. Now, next question, what is Lorentz force? The total force on charged particle in an electric and magnetic field known as Lorentz force. We know that Lorentz force is a sum of electric field, sum of magnetic field. That is, we know that Fe, when charged particle placed in uniform electric field, then force is, when charged particle placed in magnetic field, then force is QV cross B. Then totally, when a charged particle placed in both uniform electric and magnetic field, Lorentz force is QE QV cross B. That is this relation known as Lorentz force. Give relation between dielectric constant and electric susceptibility. That is K is equal to 1 plus chi. What is chi? It is known as electrical susceptibility. Electrical susceptibility. And when a dielectric slab is placed in an electric fields, it polarized. And this susceptibility is a quantity which determine the how much it's polarized or not. Now, next question, what is inductance? The property of electrical circuit in which induced EMF is produced in a coil when current changes in same coil or other nearby coil is called inductance. It is of two types. One is self-inductance, second is mutual inductance. Now, our next question, define coefficient of self-inductance. You know, as moment of inertia plays the role in mechanics, similarly, self-inductance is also known as inertia of electricity. Is also called inertia of electricity, represented by L. This is a symbol of self-inductance. That is, coefficient of self-inductance is defined as the change in magnetic flux per unit change in current in the same coil. As we know that L is equal to magnetic flux per unit area. That is phi by A. Its SI unit is Henry, represented by symbol H. Also we know that relations induced EMF is equal to LdI by dt. So from here you can also determine another unit, that is L, unit of self-inductance, volt second per ampere. One more unit can be asked in examination, Weber per ampere, but SI system its unit is Henry. It is also asked L due to long solenoid. The relation mu naught n square A by L. Now another question, define coefficient of mutual inductance. Mutual inductance is defined as change in magnetic flux linked with one coil per unit change in current in another nearby coil. It is represented by M. सेल्फ इंडक्टेंस और म्यूचुअल इंडक्टेंस में रिलेशन बिल्कुल सेम है, बस क्या है सिंबल जो आपका सेल्फ के अंदर एल यूज़ करना है और म्यूचुअल के अंदर आपको एम यूज़ करना है। इसकी एसआई यूनिट भी सेम है, दैट इज हेनरी एच। सीजीएस यूनिट एब हेनरी, एंड इफ यू रिलेट 1 हेनरी इज इक्वल टू 10 की 9 एब हेनरी। Now next question, what is transient current? The current which vary for a small finite time, that is 0 to maximum, or vice versa is called transient currents. जैसे कि आपको पता है, जैसे ही आप सेल्फ इंडक्टर यानी इंडक्टर के साथ वोल्टेज जोड़ते हैं, current rises from 0 to maximum. When you remove the key, current decreases from maximum to 0. It's known as transient current. Now next question, what is pure spectrum? In pure spectrum there will be no overlapping of colors, that is आपके सभी कलर separately दिखाई देंगे. What is an impure spectrum? Opposite of pure spectrum. In a pure spectrum there will be overlapping of different colors over one another. What do you understand by normal adjustment of telescope? As you know, telescope is used to see astronomical object. So in normal adjustment the final image formed at infinity, and you know at normal adjustment the magnification f naught fe, and at finite adjustment the magnification will be Fe by D, distance of vision. What is meant by depth of focus? It indicates the range of object distances over which focusing is reasonably good. Now next question, what is meant by range of telescope? The range of telescope tells us how far away a star of some standard brightness can be spotted by the telescope. Now next question, what is relation between focal length and radius of curvature of spherical mirror? वैसे सिलेबस से कट गया, लेकिन क्या है आपके लिए बड़ा आसान है. It's a concave mirror. It's a focus, its pole, and its center of curvature. You know that this R is equal to 2F and F is equal to R by 2. Next question, what is visual angle? It is an angle subtended by an object at I. Now next, define the term threshold frequency in relation to photoelectric effect. You know, it's also a law of photoelectric effect. For every metal, there is certain minimum frequency below which no photoelectrons are emitted from the metal surface. This frequency called threshold frequency. As you know that when a photon of energy incident on a metal surface. This energy divided into two parts. First part is known as work function and second part to impart kinetic energy to liberating electrons. This work function is represented by h nu naught. Nu naught is known as threshold frequency. What determines the maximum velocity of photoelectrons? The frequency of incident radiations and work function of the metallic surface determine the velocity of photoelectrons. What is 1 electron volt? 1 electron volt defined as amount of energy acquired by an electron when it's accelerated under a potential difference of 1 volt. It is represented by 1 electron volt. You know the charge on electron. That is the total, this energy equal to 1.6 10 ki minus 19 joule. Bigger unit 1 mega electron volts. 1.6 10 ki minus 19 10 की power 6, that is joule. ये आपके लिए 25 क्वेश्चन सेट था, क्योंकि आपका अब की बार एग्जामिनेशन के अंदर सम मल्टी चॉइस क्वेश्चन, सम वेरी शॉर्ट, सम फिल इन दी ब्लैंक्स पूछे जाने हैं। तो आज के लिए आपके 25 क्वेश्चन, नेक्स्ट में हम आगे करते हैं।